Good morning, this is Rich Nelson here with Allendale. Today's Friday, February 7th of 2014 here. This is our morning coffee notes. Now, as far as outside market interest, we did have the monthly jobs report this morning. Non-farm payrolls actually grew by 113,000. That was short of the trade's estimate of 184,000 here. Keep in mind, as far as the other portion of the report, some of the employment numbers were not as bad as far as that headline non-farm payrolls number. On the unemployment numbers, they fell about 6.6%. The trade was expecting a 6.7% number here. So as far as the overall employment numbers, kind of a mixed view as far as this morning's action. Last trades in the stock market are a little higher here on the as far as last quotes. Now, as far as grains today, news actually a little quiet. Keep in mind, yesterday we hit new highs for the uptrends for both corn, soybeans, and wheat. And today we actually have most prices within about a penny or two of yesterday's settlements here. As far as ag news today, Obama signed the farm bill this morning, so it looks like that's wrapped up and done. So we can stop wrangling about those issues here. Second thing, Japan bought some wheat. That was announced a couple days ago as far as that tender, so they completed that purchase overnight here. Last piece of news as far as grains today. On the weather side of things here, it looks like Argentina picked up about a ½ inch to an inch and a half of rain yesterday. Pretty good numbers there, and that will continue as far as these moderate to heavy rains for the next 7 to 8 days. So certainly good moisture lined up for Argentina over the next week here. Now, Brazil, they were dry yesterday, and in fact, they'll be dry all the way through Wednesday, maybe even Thursday of next week here. So there's some concern here. While we do have some very good conditions to harvest in the north and north-central areas, certainly as the crop still has some more time to develop in the central and southern regions, could cause maybe a little more damage on that end here. But as far as damage, all we're doing is we're bringing these damage totals down from perhaps a 91 million ton crop, a 90-something million ton crop, and only taking a moderate amount off that here. Now, USDA will have its own take on these numbers here Monday with that monthly supply-demand report. And as far as their own numbers on Brazil, they were 89 million tons last month. The trade's actually expecting them to increase to 89.5 on Monday. Now, as far as Argentina, the trade's talking numbers, maybe a slight decline as far as a 500,000 ton for both corn and wheat down for Argentina here. So overall news actually a little quiet here today as far as grains, maybe a little lower on corn and beans. As far as wheat, maybe a little support. But as far as the U.S. side as a whole, on the wheat side of things for temperatures, we will stay with below normal temperatures, but the trade feels for right now there's adequate snow cover to insulate from any serious winter kill problems. Over on the livestock side, the cattle market probably won't react too much to this morning's employment report. As I mentioned, the results were actually a little more mixed rather than completely one-sided, bullish or bearish here. As far as the weather side of things on the cattle end of things here, looks like light snows here yesterday, about 1 to 2 inches for that region from northern Texas up to southern Kansas here. Probably not going to cause too much of an issue as far as major problems from the market's point of view. Over the weekend, we have another 1 to 2 inches lined up for a few areas throughout the plains, but there should be no major impact as far as weight gains. So as far as cattle, looks like a mixed trade off the start here today. Keep in mind, as far as cash cattle, looks like we did get some of those bids to move up to 140 here. And as far as the trade's mindset, the February contract already has that priced in. So even though we are still locked in a very bearish market for cattle, both on the wholesale beef as well as cash cattle in, looks like futures, at least for the February contract, have that priced in. First notice day is going to be here, on Monday for the February cattle contract. Now over on hogs here, looks like a little more of a mixed trade for this morning's action to start here. Cash hogs, we have seen some stability begin to show here, and hopefully as packers are now buying for full kill weeks, which hopefully won't have these cold weather or snow delays, we may get some of our problems here cleaned up. As far as overall weight issues, we're still running about 3% over last year just in terms of weights. So even though this week's kill was probably going to run maybe 0.8, 0.9% below last year, our pork production, because of our higher weights, will be about 2% higher. So as far as hogs, we finally have this cash hog market starting to show some upside interest. It's not going to be too much off the bat here to get everybody excited on these nearby contracts. As far as the deferreds here, keep in mind as far as the numbers for Thursday's PED updates from that weekly reporting system, that really shocked us with a 265 new case count for yesterday's PED numbers. The previous record was 218 just in the previous week. So we had a 22% increase in PED reportings. So as far as that issue here, we'll probably see some support certainly show up here on these summer contracts today. So overall action looks like kind of mixed across the board for both grains and livestock to start. We should expect some very quiet trading volume here today. As far as Monday, that's going to be our biggest issue we're looking ahead with that monthly supply demand from USDA. If you have any questions or comments about this morning's trading, feel free to give us a call here at Allendale, 1-800-262-7538.